You know what? I'm just gonna go out and say it. I love the Ssangyong brand. I love everything about it. I love their design philosophy, if they even have one. I'm not 100% sure they do have a design philosophy, but specifically the older cars from 15-20 years ago. The Rodius, you have the Musso, the Actyon, the Rexton, apparently the Tivoli. They have a bunch of different cars here that I've never seen before. I don't know how they, I would love to sit in on a design brief that they have in the board or whatever and talk over the designs of how they were to move forward with the branding, kind of listen in and be fascinated with their decisions and the green light for some of these designs. It's really interesting to think about how those meetings went down. So in this video, we're gonna have a look at the Ssangyong Actyon. I might be pronouncing that wrong. I'm probably pronouncing it the wrong way, and I'm gonna keep pronouncing it the Actyon for the rest of this video. We're gonna have a look at that. We're gonna have a look at the front and possibly the rear as well. I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking at the new one. It looks kind of boring. The new ones just look very generic, the new Sangyongs. So we're gonna have a look at the Actyon from when was this? 2010. The Actyon from 2010. That's the one we're focusing on. It's a beauty. We're gonna focus on the front view, jump into Photoshop. I'm gonna show you what we're going to do with it. I have no idea what we're gonna do with it this moment. That's why we have to jump into Photoshop, sketch out some lines, check out the proportions of this beauty, possibly think about the rear as well. Most likely, because I'm looking at both the front view and the rear view right now, and I can tell you that both need a little tweaking, if you can call it that. So let's jump into Photoshop. Let's check what we can do with this, and see if we can improve this Ssangyong Actyon. By the way, we have some fantastic news. This is Francine right here. She's going home to her new home tomorrow, and she's even going with her sister Henrietta right there. Both of these are adopted, and we have 3 foster kittens right now, and actually all of them are adopted. So all of these kittens right here, this is Georgette, Henrietta, and Francine back there. They're going home to their new homes tomorrow. So mission accomplished. Now we just have to find some new kittens to foster and find them new homes as well. Alright, so the Ssangyong Actyon front view. I think there's a little play on the word here. I think they switched the I for a Y, so it might be Ssangyong Action, but I'm gonna keep calling it Actyon just because it's more fun to say it that way. It was really hard to find a good high resolution front view of this car. I wonder why. But I finally found this one, and it's a decent photo. We can work with this. So let's have a look at this and see what the problem is, or if there even is a problem with this front view. When I look at this, the elements are there. They seem to be in the right spots. The graphics are kinda interesting, and the positioning of something is just off. So that's what we're gonna try and figure out what it is here today. When I was Googling this, by the way, I was trying to find a front view of this era Actyon, and I came across another Ssangyong called the Chiron, I think. I wish I never saw that rear view of that estate called Chiron, because when you've Googled that car, you can tell your friends that you've seen things.
Oh, hell no!
That's good for me though, because that's gonna be another redesign in the future, for sure. This video though about the Actyon, what is going on here? Let's see what we have. We have some headlights here. The interesting thing with the headlights is that there are very sharp edges everywhere here. Even the grille has a lot of sharp edges and corners like that. And then you have this little teardrop or thing hanging down like from the eyelid like that. And this curvature, I think that's what messes everything up. But at the same time, that's what makes the Actyon unique. And I think I want to keep that, but I want to try and fix it somehow. So maybe add some roundness to other spots of the front view or something like that. Maybe work on the proportions, the positioning of the graphics. When I look at the car, I know there is something off with the car. I just can't really put my finger on what it is. So let me think for just a second. I need to be quiet, look at the car, and kind of figure out what's going on. I think I have a solution for the Actyon front view, how to fix this. And the thing is, this is supposed to be an SUV, but the front view, the front part of it seems to be the front of a hatchback. And the reason I'm saying that is because we have this massive slope here. This angle, so if you go straight here from the windshield, this angle is pretty drastic for an SUV. And I think that big slope, it makes it like a mix between a hatchback that may be lifted, or it looks kind of like a MPV or something like that. This part could be part of an MPV. So what we're going to do, first of all, we're gonna start big, work on the big parts first. So we're gonna move this whole thing up, move these headlights up, the grille up, this up. Then once we've done that, maybe that will fix the issue. Greta, thank you. Maybe that will fix the issue. And then if that doesn't fix the issue, then we can go in and work on the details such as the graphics, the color of the bumpers, and all of that fun stuff. But first of all, let's do the big things first. Let's heighten or raise the whole front and see if that maybe fixes this issue. All right, so here we go. The front view of this Actyon. Let's see what we can do in Photoshop. First things first, I want to do the big changes as we talked about in the brief. Let's do those first. So raise up the whole front. Pretty much copy the whole front part of this car and bring it up a couple of inches, maybe, I don't know, in inches. I know in centimeters, I would say about 7 or 8 centimeters or something like that. And when we do that, of course, we need to, there's a lot to fix after that. It's gonna make a mess, so we need to go back and fix that. Now, hold up just a second here. I wanna stop this video right here and show you what this first change, how big of a difference that made. I'm not sure we need to do anything else except fixing all the parts that were messed up because of this initial change. We need to kind of fix the lines and all of that. But sometimes all you gotta do is raise the front by a couple of centimeters or inches, and boom, you have a completely different feel of the car itself. And to me, that just shows how important proportions are to a car. If the proportions are off, if you have an MPV proportioned front on an SUV body, or a hatchback front on an MPV body, for example, it's just going to look off, and something is just gonna, whenever you look at the car, you're just gonna have that feeling that something is off. So that's why I love doing these redesigns, is to figure out what those issues are. Sometimes it's very simple, and sometimes you need to experiment for a whole day to go nuts and crazy and put lines, copy paste, and airbrush, all that stuff. But in this case, we actually reached the conclusion pretty early in the redesign. There's still more things that I want to do with this car. I just wanted to stop it right here and really let you think about the little change that we did, and just have a look at what an improvement in the proportions of the front that little height change made. I really like Ssangyong as a car company. I think they should have stuck with these weird designs and not become like every other brand. If you look at the modern Sangyongs, they're pretty boring. They're very, very generic. It's like they don't have an identity. These old cars with these weird styling features that they put on the what's the one we did a while back? The Rodius, the land yacht. A yacht designer designed a car, and that the design got approved, which is fantastic that we can see those old Sangyongs out on the road and just be fascinated by the design when you look at it. Fascinated in what way? That's totally up to you. But one thing you will do is remember these old Sangyongs when you see them out on the streets. What I want to do now is to connect all the lines that we changed, so make a little bit more definition on the part that is underneath the grille, the V shape right there, smooth it out a little bit, work on the headlights is the next thing we're gonna do. I wasn't sure if I wanted to add a chamfer on for the headlights themselves, so I just tried that out here, and I'll leave that in because I want you to see the process of a redesign. Some things just don't work out as I thought they would, so that little chamfer there, it has to go. I just deleted it and went to work on the actual design of the headlights and tried to redesign that, but still keeping that weirdness of Ssangyong, and try not to make it too generic and too boring, but instead keep the weirdness, but maybe have some more congruent design language in the front. So not have that ball in the center of the headlight, instead incorporate that ball into the headlight in a better way, and have the tip of the headlight be connected graphically or shape-wise to the grille. Once we have those elements down, all we got to do now is just finish everything up with some highlights, not headlights, and we are pretty much done. This is the before and after. So up top, you see the before, of course. Down low is the redesign with the height difference and graphical adjustments in the front. Regarding the rear view of this Ssangyong Actyon, we're gonna save that for another video so we don't make a very long video. It makes sense to just chop it up in 2 parts. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for stopping by and checking it out. If you like this kind of redesigns, I'm gonna link all my videos up top here in the corner, so you can go check out the playlist of I don't know how many redesign videos we have right now, but it's we're building a pretty substantial library of redesigns of cars just like this one. If you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up to help the YouTube algorithm, or whatever it really does when you're hitting thumbs up. I think it does something good though, so hit it if you enjoyed the video. I really appreciate that. I'm the Sketch Monkey. I will see you in the next video. Take it easy.